We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 29 of the Empty Slate. 29, right?
Shit,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's 29.
You upload all this.
Yeah. Well, except for last week. Had a little technical difficulties last week. Episode 29. This is our year-end celebration. Last episode that we are doing of the year. Going to take the next few weeks off for Christmas and all that. And as always, as you can see, we have Mr. Russell, the Love Muscle, with us as always. What up, dude?
What's up, man? Well, just
Sexy. You're muted.
I could have swore I hit the button. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you just fine.
Does it sound any better now?
A lot better. How about me?
Yeah, you sound fine.
You know, we probably should do this stuff before we go live.
Nah, that's not our style.
No, we just wing it.
But you know, we normally have a gentleman that always chimes in on our chat. And he always is he's one of our number one supporters. And we have been with circumstances to Chris's not chance, but he had a day off, and so we decided we'd get this one in, and we got to bring in a good friend of ours that is, like I said, one of our good supporters, always chimes in on the chat, and I think Chris and I both agree he is a good friend and a hell of a podcaster. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. YFB himself, Mr. Brian Little.
There he is, chugging his A&W.
Hey, you know how it is when YFB has broken out the hard stuff, the aged vanilla, you know that business is about to pick up. And let me just give another introduction here. The lights have dimmed. The smog machine starts to explode onto the scene. You have this euphoria that hits the YouTube world and the Facebook world, and as it starts to accumulate, your music hits.
And we're copyrighted, and
we are copywritten.
Move aside for Chris and Russ. Like they're really going to take your stuff down. Just letting you know.
We are deep.
We had to give you the intro music. We had to do this thing right.
Well, Brian, funny you say that. I was doing some experimenting with Chat GPT earlier, and it wrote us a song for our show. And I sent it to Chris.
Oh, okay.
But neither one of us can sing very well, so
no.
But the words are really.
But
well.
we could take a quick moment of silence. I think this is fair to my nation, the Blockhead Nation, and to yours as well. If we can just take a somber moment and just embrace the fact that we can say that the Texas Rangers are the 2023 World Series champions.
You're a couple episodes behind.
Could we also take a moment of silence to embrace the mediocre team that is the Green Bay Packers? And the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have defeated the filthy Eagles and are on the brink of having a phenomenal season, but are probably going to break our hearts in the playoffs. Now that I've rubbed everybody's feathers the wrong way, let's continue with the show.
And thanks for joining us, Brian. It's been a fun episode.
We'll see you later on the next one.
And this is where they kick me out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, I love you, buddy.
And if I need to remind Chris, my mother and my pastor watch this podcast, so if you would at least to an extent pump the brakes on taking the name of the Lord in vain, it would certainly be appreciated, especially around the Christmas holidays, because he struggles a little bit in that department, wouldn't you say? Either way, continue.
You're sitting in your pastor's office, so I will refrain from saying what I want to say.
And there you have it.
You're on the wrong show for that, homie.
Yeah. This is not the show that you want to be sitting in your pastor's office with.
No, we'll keep it. We'll keep it PG
13.
punk,
There it is.
PG EFGHIJK Ladies and gentlemen, so we have decided that this was going to be our year-end episode. Obviously, as Mr. Little just referenced, we are coming up on the Christmas holiday. That is a very special time for a lot of people. And so I sent a message to the guys and just kind of said something we can kick around once we get there is some Christmas themes. So before we get there, I do want to say go Cowboys. I do want to say sorry about your Packers because that was a good game. And I do want to say,
you're on.
I do want to say that this has been an odd year for football, and I'm very much looking forward to the playoffs. All right, sports out of the way. Maybe Brian and I we can kick around a little MMA right at the end. But so I sent you guys a message, and I said, the first one that maybe you guys thought about was your favorite toy that you got on Christmas. And that was a hard one for me. And I'll let you guys go first because I'm still kicking my two around of which two were my favorite because I can always remember two. So Brian, you are our guest, so I'm going to let you go first. Favorite toy from Christmas that you ever had?
Well, if it's okay, I'd kind of like to go into two of those, and I won't take too long. It's just one of them is kind of important, and the other one just makes sense. So to begin with, when you said that, my mind automatically went to probably my third or fourth Christmas. I can still remember this because those of you that are friends with me and Russ and Chris, you already know this, that my father passed away a couple of years ago from COVID, and he one year spent the entire night, probably until maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, preparing what you call an Eternia playset. Because I wasn't just a fan of the Peanuts, I was also a huge fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That was truly a show and a collection of toys that I absolutely adored. And they were starting to become on discount, I think, because they were losing steam in the toy market in many ways. But he got this Eternia playset. If you want to go Google it and look it up sometime, it is a huge set. It's got this huge tower in the middle where you have Castle Grayskull on one side and Snake Mountain on the other. And, my dad was a guy who was a tinkerer. He worked a lot behind the scenes. He was not like me. He was very left-brained. He didn't want to speak in public. I'm the exact opposite in many ways. I'm the creative one. But he spent most of the evening until the morning that I woke up preparing that playset just for me to destroy it in 5 minutes. But so it's kind of one of those, I always look back and think about what he did behind the scenes. The older I get, the more I realize to make Christmas a success for me as a kid, knowing the sacrifices that he made. So that's a hat tip to my father's memory and his legacy in many ways. The other one came from a visit to my aunt's house about 1987. The reason I know this one is because it was on video cassette. They had a home video that they made of me opening up a Fisher-Price microphone. And that, in many ways, gentlemen, is where it all began. When I had that microphone and you turned it on, I learned how to speak, learned how to sing in front of everybody around the Christmas tree and, kind of ham it up. So I guess you can say that Fisher-Price microphone and that Eternia playset will always resonate with me and be very dear to my heart. So that's my answer.
All right. Two.
Nice.
One I don't know, but the other one I do remember. Chris, what about you?
Oh, for me, there's a couple that I really remember that resonate, but my favorite thing that I ever got, or the thing that I remember the most, is the original Nintendo, the original NES. I remember getting that. That was, I don't know what it is, don't know why, but it just stuck with me. And I guess that got me into video games and to what I do now.
You don't play video games, you drive a train.
On my off time, I'm playing Xbox.
What do you play on Xbox? You've never even talked about this.
Well, it's not something I'm proud of. I'm a 40-year-old man playing video games.
Okay, there's
Among
fucking
how
people
many on
Oh,
TikTok?
we're 10 minutes in. I can say that. There's people in this world now. Like Brown's got headphones in, so nobody around us can hear him. There's fucking people in this world that make billions playing video games, bro. And they're in their 40s. So you can tell people that you play video games. Believe me.
Okay, maybe the video games in which I play.
Well, unless you're playing like Barbie, Dreamhouse,
Monster Jam, Forza, stuff like that.
they're racing games. Who cares? I watched a guy today play Lego Fortnite. He's in his 40s.
That's one game I do not understand. It's Fortnite and Minecraft. Those two games.
Okay, so
No idea.
Okay, so before we get too deep into this, they're two different things, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Minecraft is odd, and I've never watched somebody play Minecraft. I've seen kids play Minecraft. My nephews have played it, so that one I'm with you. I don't really get it. Fortnite is fun. It is a cartoon shoot 'em up game that's like a battle royale. It's less violent than Call of Duty. Let me put it that way. But yes, so it's dude. Okay, truth be told, I've been wanting to play Lego Fortnite because it looks cool and it looks fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I played Legos when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure all three of us probably did.
Oh yeah,
we all played with Legos.
I still do.
Kids. And the thing about it is, and I think this can go into something we'll talk about. We'll transition into later that I didn't actually bring up with you guys, but how toys have improved in the later years. But to get to my answer, I was thinking, I really thought long and hard on this. And I was kind of in the realm of, I was kind of in between where Brian was and where I was and where Chris was. When I was growing up, we always wanted a trampoline. Me and my brothers wanted a trampoline. Well, Santa brought me and my brothers a trampoline. One of my favorite ones. But that was more of a joint gift for me and my brothers. But when I was, 12, 13, I don't remember, I got the Super Nintendo. And I got Super Mario World and Donkey Kong. And I am not kidding you. I spent months on playing Donkey Kong and beating that game because I freaking love that game. And I every once in a while I'll see you'll get in that wormhole on TikTok or something where you find somebody. I just spit everywhere. You'll find that wormhole where people are playing Donkey Kong like live on TikTok because they're gamers. I mean, that's people do that nowadays. But so we were all in the realm of probably before we were in our teens, very young. I don't remember when Nintendo came out, but I remember Super Nintendo. When I got one, I was super excited about that one because I had already I think I'd got a Nintendo for my birthday, and I had got Duck Hunt and Mario, and really and truly, that was all you really wanted back then. And the Paperboy game.
Yeah.
You remember the Paperboy game? Yeah. That one was fun.
See, I graduated pretty quick from Nintendo to Sega. And then now I'm a huge Sonic guy. Sonic the Hedgehog was my deal.
I never had a Sega. Truth be told.
Really?
Never had a Sega.
I had all the Sonics. I had the Sonic and Knuckles where you had the cartridge. I think it was Sonic 2, but then it opened up and
that was a good game.
Yeah. Put another Sonic on top of it, and it was Sonic and Knuckles. That was.
I do remember Sonic, and I remember watching buddies play Sonic. So the next one that I asked you guys was a toy that you always wanted as a kid, but you never got. Ooh. And the one that I will always think of is a Sega Dreamcast.
Okay.
I always wanted a Dreamcast, and I never got one. I think we ended up getting an Xbox the very first Xbox,
Good Lord.
or an N64. I'm not for sure. It was one of the
I
two.
think it was the N64.
I think we got one of the two. I can't remember which one, but the one I always wanted was a Sega Dreamcast, and I never got
I
one.
don't think the Xbox was out when the Dreamcast came out.
It may not have been.
I don't
It may have
think-
been a Nintendo 64 that we got.
Yeah. Brian, what about you?
Well, truth be told, when I thought about this, the truth is I don't remember having anything that I dwelled on or any gifts that I didn't get. I can just say, Russ, that it was belated that I got a trampoline by the time I was in the 8th grade. So let's just say that I was always wanting a trampoline because my aunt had one, the same one that took the video of me with the microphone and other things, along with watching a Charlie Brown special. Funny enough, that's on that home video. But they had the trampoline, and I always look forward to that on Thanksgiving and Christmas, going to their house to be able to jump with my cousin. So I think it's one of those. I eventually got it, and I don't think there's any other gift that I never didn't get, to be honest with you. But I'm sure if I thought hard enough, something would resonate.
See, for me, like you, Russ, you wanted the Dreamcast, never got it. I wanted the original PlayStation and never got it. And
Yeah, I got one of those.
yeah, see, and my dad, his whole reasoning was because it was CD based, and you scratch that CD, you can't play it, and that kind of shit. So the next year we got N64, or I got N64. So that kind of
I will say I was lucky enough to have both a PlayStation, the original, and an N64. And truth be told, if I'm going to rank the two, the PlayStation was always more fun.
yeah, I rented it. I don't know how many times from that movie store down there by where the old CC's used to be by Kroger.
Yes.
Or
Yep.
what Kroger used to be, the gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
I rented
It must be
one
some
about
tanning salon
once or
now,
twice a
wherever it
year.
is. But yeah, the nostalgia is
Like it's
definitely
back.
ingrained over there. But it's been many different stores in that chain for a while since.
I think
But
it's
yeah,
a
I always look at that and
massage
go,
parlor.
the movie store was there.
I think it's a massage parlor. The people
Tax
that worked
office.
at a tax office.
Tax office, massage parlor, nail salon,
Yeah.
Notary Republic.
Notary.
What used to be
Oh,
Kroger is now
shoot.
Gold's Gym. So
Yeah, sure is.
So
Go in
so
there
we're
in the morning.
blowing through these really quick. So we'll
We can
pause
slow-
for a minute because we are
slow
kind of
things down.
we do try to good Lord, Bean.
There's a
cat.
bean.
My cat just crawled out from under the couch and he looks like he's been under there for 4 days. He was just like, what the hell's going on?
I got a question for y'all.
I've got a question.
So my wife has come out.
My wife.
She has said that she wants a new phone or needs a new phone. Hers is crapping out and it's an iPhone.
That is terrible.
And you all right there?
I think he's all right.
Anyway, she's come out and said that she wants a new phone and wants the Samsung Flip, the Flip 5. She's gotten a lot of ridicule and stuff from my family because everybody in our family are iPhone users. I go both ways. And my question to y'all are iOS or Android? And why?
Well, to be honest with you, I am definitely an Android guy, and I think it just comes down to two things. I think it comes down to budget, but I also think it comes down to simply why do I need an upgrade when it's working just fine? I mean, it's kind of one of those, there just comes a point where you just lose interest in material things. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't get one. And if it meets her needs, then, that's up to y'all to discuss. But I've been an Android god for a while, and I don't know how long I've had this phone, to be honest with you, and it meets my needs. So I'm not really going to die on that hill, but I'm sure Russ will have a few things to say about this one. So I hand the floor back to you.
Well, it's not a floor, but it's a hairy microphone with cat hair on it. Hang on.
Close enough.
There we go. I'll be honest with you.
Barebacking it.
Raw dog. Raw hard. I'll be honest with you. I have been with Android for quite some time. the last 2 places that I've worked, my company phones have been iPhones. I prefer the Android system. I like it, but I don't have anything against Apple. I don't. Yeah, it's a communist Chinese company, but
They all are.
yeah, I mean they all are. But I feel like to me, I feel like 6 in one half, and half a dozen in the other, because really and truly, these phones are going to last you about a year and a half. They're going to upgrade them out of the system, and you're going to have to buy a new one. Because it's always, like Brian said, kind of not necessarily like material things, but it's always, everybody wants to look at the next best thing. But it's always just, to me, it's always just finding a phone that you're happy with. The Galaxy, I don't remember, whichever one you had your second line.
You have the S23.
Yeah, my S23. I love
the
it.
Ultra.
Right, my S23. I love it. I have working edits on a Mac. Give me Windows all day. Hey, Andrew's chiming in. Me and my boy Andrew.
You have some input.
Me and my boy Andrew are going to be seeing some AEW tomorrow, which should be fun. Andrew loves going to AEW with me.
So I have both. Why? Because I'm addicted to technology and I like it. And everybody, trust me, the S23 Ultra all day long is a far better phone for me personally than anything iPhone. What it boils down to with them is iMessage. And they bully the shit out of me for iMessage and all that kind of crap with iPhones. And so I was just kind of wondering, I wanted y'all's take. See, me, I like Android, but I have Apple everything. I have MacBooks, iPads, AirPods, iPhone. It all just works, right? And that's kind of why my main phone is an iPhone.
Understandable. What happens if you don't unmute your mic, dumbass? You know, I guess to me, really and truly, like I said, it just really depends on what phone you're comfortable with. I'm not going to lie to you. My wife had the same phone for about 10 years. And the only reason she kept it, because it worked. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't cracked. But it was Apple, and you know how they just update and update and update. And they update these things so much and so far that they update them out of the system, basically, to where they don't run worth a damn. And you're kind of like, meh.
I'll put this up here. Andrew, yes, but it never works. I can never get it to work. I just tried to airdrop something to my daughter yesterday. Could not get it to work. Doesn't matter. I've never been able to get airdrop to work. I don't care who you are. They don't work.
It's probably your Wi-Fi.
Probably. Am I freezy?
No, I'm kidding. Talk amongst yourself for a second. I have to blow my nose. I'm going to be honest.
Well, you could at least turn your camera off too. Nobody wants to see that.
Again, people, podcast etiquette 101. This is one of those, you're having a good time until the assistant principal walks in to do an evaluation, or your supervisor comes in and has a few words to share with you. I know you guys don't want to be serious 24/7, but I'm here to help you. I'm here to assume that you want to bring your listeners back. And so, God forbid, we blow our horn before we come on live.
Or at least try to.
And I'm always giving y'all a hard time afterwards. Yeah.
Well, we are the most unscripted and just seat of our pants podcast, I think there is. I don't know of any other that actually is. I don't know of any other podcast that does what we do. Like, we really just sit down as two guys in front of a microphone and a video and a camera, and we talk about our day. That's kind of,
which, in the realm that we're in, it's kind of broad. We're in the world of what you call society and culture, leisure, personal journal entry with our podcast. And you're right. I give y'all a hard time for the heck of it. I get a little bit of pleasure out of it, but at the same time, no, I want you guys to be you. I really do. So it's but I can't help but say, There will be some people watching, like former students, my mother. So if you can ease up a little bit, and you've done good so far, so I give you a gold star in that department.
Well,
Again, Chris, I appreciate y'all coming by here. You're good.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say there's only been a couple of F-bombs today, which is kind of odd. We are a rated R podcast. That's for sure. We don't hold back. I mean, it is what.
And you're willing to change that explicit to a clean. You're willing to do what they did in Walmart with albums like Limp Bizkit or Metallica's S&M or all the ones from my generation. They take that and they just bleep it. They don't put 18 to purchase on it anymore. So yeah.
Right.
You and I have been down that road before. We know that all too well.
Yeah. Now it's on Spotify, and for every now and then, like my playlist or something, I'm just shuffling through. It will play a edited Limp Bizkit song, and I'm like, nah. I had to go in and find the real version and do all that.
Pretty sure that's how it works. You betcha.
Sorry, guys. Jessica was stuck in the dryer.
Your wife was stuck in the dryer. Yeah, you better explain that.
I'll explain that later, Brian.
Yeah, it's not PG.
No. We've opened that door. You might as well.
It's a joke. My wife's not actually here. Jessica's not home. But it's just a funny joke.
The innocence
you guys talk about while I was
gone? Nothing.
You're welcome.
Edited versions of music.
Oh man, can you believe? Am I late for the show, honey? No, you're not. We may touch on that because
I don't know who that is. So
Shohei Ohtani, Chris, the pitcher for. Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick rundown. I'll give my quick opinions. Oh,
right.
Shohei Ohtani, free agent, get it. Totally get it. Guy's a badass. Can pitch, can hit. MVP of the league. $700 million 10-year contract with the Dodgers. First of all, the rumors were that he wasn't going to chase money. He chased money. Rumors were he wasn't going to chase the lights of California. He went back. He likes California. He likes money. No, not mad at the guy. Not mad at all. $700 million. And then, yes, Andrew, to hit on that. One of the weirdest things I've ever seen in MLB. The man restructured his deal to where he is going to make $2 mil for the next 8 years. Or no, 10 years. Till 2034. He's going to make $2 mil from 2034 when his contract is done to 2044. He's going to make $680 million. Once his contract is up. Reasoning behind that whole deal is because he makes almost $50 million a year in revenue from sponsorships and ads and stuff.
When I first heard that, I was listening. This is Sunday night. I was coming back from the gym and I was listening to it on the fan. That one chick that sounds really hot. She lives around here somewhere. I don't know who it is. She said that, and it kind of blew my mind. I
mean, my mind is blown on. Okay, we said we weren't going to talk too much sports, and I get it. But the thing about it is, this doesn't even really connect to sports with me. It connects with holy shit. How can you not have enough money in your life? Yeah, he can also get that $680 million over 9 years without paying California taxes for when he goes back to Japan. The dude can go back to Japan and live like a king.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
And you wonder why it irritates me when MMA fighters are getting $500,000 and having to spread that out over a year. You wonder why that irritates me. But It's just one of those examples.
I mean, and one thing that irritates me, and I think maybe Andrew can chime in on this too. The fact that between 3 players on the Rangers that we got shit for signing them for the amount of money that we did, Simeon, Seager, and DeGrom, the amount of money does not even equate to the entire contract of Shohei Ohtani. It's 600 and something million for 3 players. And Shohei Ohtani's contract is 700 million. It's like, wow. First of all, yes, I get it. It's LA. It's the Dodgers. It's a very big name in baseball. But damn, I do not want to hear the one Astros player say, well, y'all paid to get your World Series. Because if the Dodgers make the World Series, I don't want to hear a peep from an Astros fan. Not a freaking peep.
Could that be prompting somebody just for the sake of the YFB network? Could that be prodding anyone in particular? Just throwing it out there. If he were to chime in.
Yes, actually, from what I've heard, so there's a big Japanese prospect. I can't remember his name, but there was a lot of rumors pre Ohtani contract that he wanted to play kind of. I mean, Brian or Andrew's chiming in, but he wanted to kind of play with Ohtani. So that may be something that they're trying to prime to. Yeah. Sasaki, or however you say that. That's that guy. He kind of wanted to play with Ohtani. So, yes, Brian, to answer your question, yes, it could.
So, weren't the Dodgers, or having the Dodgers for like the last 5 seasons or so, been 100+ wins?
I'm not going to say the last 5 seasons, but I mean they've been in the playoffs last 4 or 5, yeah, probably. I think at least 3 to 4, maybe. I mean, I know 20, I know 21, 22, 23. Yeah, so for the last 4 years, I know.
I would hate. See, I don't want to just go ahead and make a prediction like that. Like the Dodgers are going to be great just with the addition of one player. He might be great, but anything can happen. Yeah, Andrew said more or less. Yeah,
2020 season was COVID.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I mean, you look at it. To me, you look at it like this. I've always thought about athlete money. Who gets paid the most? Why do you get paid that much? But who puts their body through more hell? Baseball is probably the least bit of hell that they put their body through, but they get the most amount of money.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like Brian said, MMA fighters get paid like dirt, and they go through hell. Once a month, twice, 3 times a month, whatever. I mean,
whatever they're booked, whatever venue that they get.
Yeah, I would really like to sit down and see. I would really like to sit down for myself and just make a list of my personal opinion of the most physical athletic job to the least physical athletic job, and then kind of Google those average pays. I mean, let's be honest. I think baseball is going to be at the top of 30 teams with billionaire owners. Well, that's true. Yeah. I think you can mix in like golf in there of least, physically demanding on your job, on your body. But look at Tiger, poor guy. And then you look at, football, hockey, those guys, you get the hell beat out of them. So, there's some of those guys that, they don't take care of themselves, and they, you don't take care of your noggin. Look where you're at.
Junior Seau, RIP.
I know this is.
I guess you can say it before y'all go on. I guess the one feather in my cap when it comes to my sport. I get Andrew's point here. It's just kind of.
Is it yours?
It's appreciated that there was an interview by Malky Kawhi that came out a few years ago, and he was asked as a promoter. He said, "Which one would you rather promote, NFL players or MMA fighters?" And he said, "MMA fighters." And they asked him why, and he said, and I quote, because MMA fighters are more humble. There's something to this sport where I just feel like the guys deserve more. But you're right. You got pretty much 3 options now. You got the UFC, you got the PFL, who just acquired Bellator, and you got 1 championship. All the other ones are shells of their former selves, and it's coming down to eventually the big fish will swallow the other fish in due time.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I was looking for a comb that I thought I left in here to make my hair look better.
Just put a hat back on.
And I guess Chris and I, you look for a diversion until everybody gets situated and we have all.
Well, you two are grown men. Y'all can talk.
I don't know what else to talk about.
Did.
It's your show.
You are.
I'm
okay.
just producing.
You're not producing a damn thing. You're sitting there in a dark room trying to figure out if you can stand up to go pee because you don't have any pants on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Y'all ever done a podcast?
He's afraid to go to the bathroom because the supervisor is in the room and is going to degrade him if he does.
Well,
yeah, right.
It's okay.
I'm just wearing a hoodie, just a hoodie and briefs. That's about it. That's all I got on.
Well, I was going to put another hat on, but it's right up there, and I don't want to put it on because I don't want people to say nothing because it's my A&M hat.
Oh, I thought it was like another rainbow hat, like what's his face did in Autotech. What's his name? Our teacher, Roland.
I don't remember. So anyway,
okay,
ladies,
go ahead.
Back to the topic at hand. No, I'm kidding. Maybe
what
Andrew,
happened was
maybe Andrew can chime in on some of our questions that we're talking about. I don't remember my next one. Oh, all right.
Christmas
so
memories.
So that was the next one. Which I do. Do you have a favorite Christmas memory? And if you do, what was it? Brian, go first.
Well, once again, it's going to seem a little bit somber, but I kind of have to just because if I had to pick my favorite moments in Christmas, they usually were involved with my grandfather and my father. And those that don't know, there's kind of a reason why Russell and Chris and I and other people in our class didn't really spend a lot of time hanging out together on the weekends. It's because every weekend we were going to see my grandmother and my grandfather, one who was battling Alzheimer's and eventually did pass away. And then Grandpa, who I believe to this day died of a broken heart because he just didn't want to face life without her around. But one of the best memories I will always have of Christmas was going to their house. And it wasn't just exchanging gifts, but I remember very well that Grandpa and my father would share not only a cup of coffee, but they would share a piece, excuse me, of Collins Street Bakery fruitcake. And I'm going to tell you again, I stand by this until my dying day. There's a huge difference between disgusting store-bought fruitcake and a world-famous deluxe fruitcake from the Collins Street Bakery in Corsicana, Texas. The problem is it's expensive. So if you want samples, you have to actually go to Corsicana on 7th Avenue or the new location they have and get you some samples. But I'll always remember those two having conversation over a cup of coffee and eating Collins Street Bakery fruitcake. So when I have those once a year with our family, it always brings back those precious memories with those two men who will always be my heroes.
Huh. Oh, that's great. Mine is my dad forgot the R when he was labeling the crock pot a couple years ago.
Okay, I clearly missed something because he's laughing and you buffered and everything has just kind of gone off the other end. So you're going to have to back up a little bit. And
so every year we have spaghetti and meatballs, and my mom cooks it in a crock pot. My dad was labeling the crock pot when he was putting it up, and he forgot the R.
Oh, brother. Good grief, Barnett.
I'm laughing at the way Chris just transitioned to, that's great. Like, what the?
Yeah, pretty much. Let's go full
Hmm.
Tony the Tiger. That's
great. So,
Well, it's a
no
great
tact
memory.
at all.
I don't know.
so
Yeah, up yours, Chris. Anyway, as we continue on.
not to continue on the not well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's somber. I mean, it's a good memory. I kind of, second
Yeah, they
with
are.
Brian there. So lost my dad to pancreatic cancer, and one cool memory that I have, which is one of the ones that will always stick with me, is right before Dad passed, a couple days before that, we had Christmas, and Jessica and I, my dad had been watching. My dad's always been a Cowboys fan. He was watching Cowboys games, and he was talking about Anthony Brown when Anthony Brown was a really good secondary player. He was like, "Man, who's that guy, Anthony Brown?" And I said, "He's Brown." He was a black guy, but he was like, "He's Brown." He was like, "If I was to ever get a jersey, I'd get that jersey." And so that Christmas, Jessica and I went to AT&T Stadium, and we got an Anthony Brown jersey, and it was pretty cool to watch him open it. He never got to put it on, but he got to hold on to it, and I want to say that my mom has a picture of him holding it. I can't really remember. Part of that kind of blurs together, but yeah. And then I will say, being old and, being, sentimental like I am, the first Christmas that Jessica and I got to have in the house since we, when we got the house out here in Alvarado, first Christmas that we got to put a tree up, we got something that we could call our own, and it was cool. We didn't put Christmas lights up outside, but Jessica decorated inside, and it was just neat, and I think both of you guys have already experienced that, and y'all are way ahead of me on that. But, that's a cool thing to do when you, especially for, ones with kiddos, and even for just married people, your first Christmas together in your own house. And that was pretty cool. That's two of my favorites.
I might just be an
As Chris
asshole
comes
because none of that
on
stuff
with his
really.
non-sentimental, non-tactful remark and shares what he wants to share.
Chris's
ahead,
favorite
That's
memory
great.
is, yeah.
I'm an asshole, self-proclaimed.
You're not an
and
asshole.
Acknowledged. No,
You're not. You're nicer than I am, bro. Bro, you are nicer than I am. I'm gonna be 100%
what I was gonna
honest.
say is, I don't have any good fond memories of any sort like that.
You probably don't remember them.
No, that's the thing, is that none of that stuff, like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter to me.
I think the one thing that probably does matter to you, and I'm gonna trigger you here, not with tears or anything, but watching your kids open Christmas presents.
Yeah,
I'd go along with that one.
Regardless of the year, when it was, that's always going to be something that satisfies you around the holidays.
Yeah, but I don't retain.
No, because it's consecutive. I mean, from the time that they're old enough to retain that memory.
I'll tell you this. One of my favorite memories. Morgan wanted an iPad so bad, and we got her one. And she's being Morgan and being a little smartass. And so I know what this is. It's my iPad. And it was. She was walking around. She knew what she had. And I told April, I said, okay, open that box up. We took the iPad out, and I took about 4 or 5 cans of corn and put back in that box, and I wrapped it up. It was about the same weight as her iPad. And she waited till the very last present that was going to be opened was that iPad. She opened it up, box of corn.
That's clever.
That's
Can of corn.
something that I will always remember is that one. And she will too.
So the next one that I had on the list, and we don't have to sit and elaborate on this one because I will be flat ass honest with you fellas. I put this on there just to see your personal opinions. Oh no, the second one. Favorite Christmas movie. Brian, you go last because we know what yours is.
Yep. You already know. I might as well just opt out on this one.
Okay, I'll go. Die Hard. Okay,
Oh,
Christmas
brother.
Vacation.
Okay.
See,
so
Andrew agrees.
Truth be told, if I'm going to put my 3 on there, the Santa Claus, the first one,
Yes.
Christmas Vacation, and then Die Hard.
See, I'll go Santa Claus, Christmas Vacation, and A Christmas Story.
I do like A Christmas Story. It's a good one.
Yeah.
If I had to do
Brian-
top 3, since we're doing top 3, clearly we know number 1 is Charlie Brown. Second would be Home Alone. Third
Good one.
would probably be Christmas Story. If I had to pick between those 3.
Home Alone is is probably one of the better. Is that one that people think is does that one people consider a Christmas movie? Yes, it is around Christmas time, but do people consider that a Christmas movie?
Do
It's a
people
Christmas
consider Die
movie.
Hard a Christmas movie? It comes down to your interpretation. My interpretation will always be, I look forward to it when Christmas comes around. My birthday is November 28th. We've had Thanksgiving. Bring on the Christmas. We're probably watching Home Alone on that day or the day after.
Yeah, it's
Andrew concurs that yes, people consider it a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
It was released in theaters on Christmas. So was the second one in 1992. Upon its release date.
See, I remember
so you would
going to
have
see the
classify
second
it
one
as
with my
that.
parents. I do remember going to see
Absolutely.
the second one with my parents. Here's my thing about Home Alone, and this is why it's not in my top 3. Hell, it's not in my top 5. Is I want to slap the shit out of Kevin McAllister. That's why. I want to slap the ever-loving shit out of that kid.
Please elaborate.
He's a pain in the
Yeah,
ass.
you have
I
our
wanna slap
attention.
the shit out of him. He needs
You mean
his
like
ass
when he's
whooped.
being yanked up the stairs and he tells his mom that she's a dummy and that he'll pee all over me
Yes.
and all that stuff? It still slaps it. You just use the word you have to use with Home Alone. Slapstick. That doesn't just include
Okay.
falling over. It has to be. You can't take that. That's comedic relief. Now keep on percusizing and don't watch heavyweights and be neglected and be separated from appearance versus reality here. Just keep that going.
I
Chris.
made it
Come
45
on,
minutes into heavyweights. I made it 45 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
And you're traumatized, aren't you?
I don't remember it.
That's how bad his memory is. people.
I couldn't stand it. I could.
All right.
I got a lot of stuff in here.
We're gonna move on from that because that irritates me. Oh man, I dropped that.
Why? Now, Austin Powers. Love me some Austin Powers.
It's a stupid ass movie.
And heavyweights isn't.
No.
Okay.
Don't we have
Austin
a guy
Powers
here
is
that looks kind of like
fake.
the guy from Austin Powers? Isn't this kind of the guy that looks like the guy from Austin Powers after he lost all the weight, following the Jared diet, but still he doesn't have the turkey gobbler like you and I have anymore, Russ, but it still kind of looks
Andrew,
like.
get off the scale.
I'll stop there. Get off the scale. How you doing,
Get off
little
the scale.
Tony? Bad.
Red.
Buddy. All right.
Oh, I have one question though.
All right.
Andrew, you can chime in too. Is Elf in your top 5 of Christmas movies?
Yes.
Not even close.
Really?
Wow.
And I don't have a problem with it, but no, it doesn't even fall into my top 5 because the truth is, again, me, Charlie Brown would always hold that top spot. But I also grew up watching the Garfield Christmas special, and that usually comes around, I watch that. Or you've also got, and there it is, people. This is how you tactfully handle non-podcast etiquette.
No,
But
this is what happens when you have cats.
Not to mention, and not to mention, I will watch every version of Christmas Carol just because I am that traditional, and I will look at the differences from the one that happened from the 30s to the 50s to Mickey's Christmas Carol to Muppets Christmas Carol. So a lot of those I will watch, and they'll probably fall into that category. So a lot of times I'm watching Christmas Carol and just kind of seeing which one do I like, which one do I not like. So because of that, Elf does fall probably in the top 10, but it won't be there. But if I had to put the Grinch, I'm gonna have to have the original one before I have the 2000 movie as well. So I'm like, they all matter. They all can still kind of be jumbled around and be disconglomerated in many ways. But I just can't put Elf in the top 10. But I'm not against it. It still belongs somewhere in my top 20, somewhere in there. But it's always subject.
Sorry.
Sounds like you need a cough drop now.
This is from 8
Christmas
years of
trees,
podcasting.
Christmas trees, and cats will test a man's patience sometimes.
That's why I don't like cats. Can't stand them.
And then
I
they
love
get
mine, but
electrified
there was one
like
out-
on National Lampoons.
Yes.
No, they don't chew on the lights. They like to chew
Good
on the
pussy
little
cat.
fake plastic branches, and then they see a shiny little green
No,
ball
that's
up
true.
there. That's what I heard. I heard a glass break.
Oh,
Little
Jesus.
shithead.
In reality,
okay,
rears
so
its ugly head.
okay, so we're not cutting close on time because we can do this however long we want. But do you guys? Okay, first of all, are you a fan of Christmas music? Second, if you are a fan of Christmas music, do you have a favorite Christmas song? I'll start because I'll let you guys go because mine's going to be short and sweet. I am a huge hater on Christmas music. I may have 2, maybe 3 Christmas songs that I like. One is Robert O'Keefe, Merry Christmas from the Family. The other one is Nat King Cole, White Christmas. And the last one is George Strait. I won't say anything from George Strait Christmas, but there's quite a few that are okay. But other than that, I am there are some that I just want to strangle people when I hear them. And one that every time I hear it, I want to figure out how to pull my eardrums out from inside of my head and stomp on them. Because every time I hear Mariah Carey, I want to scream. I agree, Chris.
I concur.
Christmas time. I may have to check that one out. No, there are some. There's there's that Run DMC Christmas song that I do like. So, I'll leave it at that. I'm not a big fan, but there are some. Y'all go ahead, and I'm going to drink some water and finish my whiskey.
Ron, what about you?
I am very much a Christmas music fan, but I'm with you that Mariah Carey can go away, and if I never hear that song again, it'll be too soon. But a lot of the times I'll say this. I personally feel like the best Christmas songs that I hear are usually done by Christian artists. For example, the best version of Charlie Brown Christmas, the song Christmas Time Is Here when they're out on the skating rink, the best version I've ever heard, and I'll gladly share it with you if you ever want to hear it, was Mercy Me. They did a version of Christmas Time Is Here, and it is glorious. It's angelic. My favorite Christian group. Go ahead.
For 2 seconds, I thought you were going to sing it.
No.
Because you said,
No,
we'll
I'll skip
share
that
it.
one.
And I was like,
no, if you want to see it through Messenger or whatever, then I'll send it to you or through your text. But no, the other one is my favorite Christian group known as Shane and Shane. They've written the best version of Oh Holy Night that I've probably ever heard and have yet to find one that even rivals it. So if I'm hearing something that's by either Third Day or even Barlow Girl has an incredible version of Carol of the Bells. So if you just kind of want to hear a different version that might actually, bring the holiday spirit out of you, you might have to go that route and give those a try.
That's great. I had to
Let's
do
just
it.
get that branded now,
Come
people.
on.
That's great. Anywho. Oh, yeah, that's Russ's line. Never mind.
So, all right, you brought up Carol of the Bells, and for me, it's got to be Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And I do like some Christmas
Absolutely.
music, but not all. Trans-Siberian Orchestra's stuff is awesome. I like the Garth Brooks Christmas album, Brad Paisley's, and George Strait's. That's really the only. Amy Grant's is good too. I will say that Amy Grant's Christmas album is pretty good. But
Would
I
you
have to
believe another person
say,
who did a pretty good, since you brought up her, would you believe another person who did a fairly decent Christmas album that I actually liked growing up was Vanessa Williams? Believe it or not, she had really good versions of Do You Hear What I Hear and some other ones. She's really pretty good if you give her a chance.
Vanessa Williams.
I remembered this song from Run DMC, Christmas in the Halls. Yes, that is a pretty badass song.
I'll have to check it out.
Run DMC. It's a good Christmas song.
It's pretty good.
So we've gone through the Christmas list. Christmas time. All right. We'll bore Chris for a few minutes. Brian. Early. We are getting close to one of the best fight cards of the year on a scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you? Let's leave it at numbers before you go into your explanation on why.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at an 11. I can't even keep a thought in my head. I'm so excited.
That's what I'm talking about.
And it starts with just when we thought we were given a great match with Josh Emmett, in steps Thug Nasty. Bryce Mitchell is finishing off the prelims to open the curtain for Ian Gary versus Vicente Luque. And as we keep rolling, we're going to have Tony Ferguson, who I pray El Kukui can pull the upset off against Patty the Batty. I am praying we have a amazing performance by Wonder Boy, but he's just not enough for Rachmaninoff. For us to have possible fight of the night is Pantoja versus Royval. People are missing how that could be easily the banger that gets everybody talking. And then you have Leon Edwards, who can knock out and can dismantle the jaw of Colby Covington once and for all. I want Leon Edwards to get it done so bad I can taste it.
I will have to second that, my friend, but not on your picks just yet because I won't reveal mine just yet. But I will say I am at an 11 on that because, man, I know Chris doesn't get excited about fights. I know you try to follow a little bit as much as you can. But, man, this one here.
We got some emotion out of him when Gaethje was knocked out by Poirier. We got some emotion out of him on that one.
We did. But I will say, man, this is one of those fight cards that we have absolutely been gifted by the gods of MMA. We are, what's today's date? We are what? We're 4
December
days
12th.
away and counting.
4 days away.
And man, knock on wood, knock on this glass over here, knock on my glass on my desk. This is one of those cards that you look at 6 months prior or 2 months prior and you're like, man, that's good. And then a month later, it's all gone to hell. And this card has just been ideal the entire time since it's been announced. And that's really to me, that's really the excitement part of it. My picks right now are just so up in the air. There are guys that I want to win. There are guys that I don't want to win. There are guys that I just want to see a great fight out of. But man, from top to bottom, early prelims to later prelims. I am very, very excited about that. Chris, I know you don't do the MMA, so just to let you know, I know you're going to come over Sunday. You're going to come over Sunday and watch some foosball with me. Oh, maybe not. That face just changed.
Possibly.
We'll
We'll talk.
talk off air.
Yeah, like you said, right now we don't have any injuries, knock on wood. We still have to get them to the scale. They still got to make weight. So, and continue to knock on wood, Russ.
I will say this, Chris, I'm gonna need your maybe some sideways guidance on Saturday. I'm gonna smoke 2 pork butts, 2 small pork butts. I'm gonna smoke 2 6-pound pork butts. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm nervous.
You're gonna do 2 of them.
Well, they're small.
Well,
They're
pork
6
butts are
pounds
pretty
each.
small. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you get them from?
I got a little double pack from Sam's.
They're bone in or
Yeah.
okay. That's easy.
So
Just monitor your fire. Go clean as possible. What wood you got?
maple.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm gonna go with a spicy rub.
Okay.
Just let me know when to
That'll
bring
be
the
good.
seasonings, buddy. I'm ready to roll. Hey, I might even do my episode there in the Loud and Opinionated Mansion in the barn because I've never done that before. Might be fun to do an MMA, a YFB MMA takedown right there. Might possibly do that if Miss Jessica's okay with that.
Oh, my wife loves you, Brian. She thinks you're a saint. Well, gentlemen, we are at the 1 hour and counting mark. We've gone over our mark, but we have had a good damn time doing it. Brian, this is your moment in time to plug and plug away, my friend.
Well, what I'd like to do instead is I'd like to hand that back over. Listeners of this show, if you are a part of the Blockhead Nation, the YFB Network, continue to support the guys at the Empty Slate as they continue to come to you every week or every other week when they are able to with their busy schedules. They're here to provide for you. They're here to entertain, educate, and edify. Keep showing up for them. Keep pushing the numbers up. Give the downloads, rate, review, and subscribe. I give all the love back to these guys. I'll take care of my own plugs come Saturday.
I appreciate it.
Well, that was mighty kind of you, my friend.
That was great.
But I will go ahead and say this. Y'all make sure you check this gentleman out. He has shared his knowledge with us from got a jet. See you tomorrow, Russ. Andrew, we will see you tomorrow, sir. I am currently tuning into this Mavs game. If you're not a basketball fan, check it out because it's been pretty good last 2-3 minutes. But Mr. YFB, man, he does a show every Saturday, and the man has shared his knowledge with Chris and I. He has shared his expertise, his anything that he knows that can help us in the podcasting world. Hell, even in the wild world of what's the term I'm looking for there? The market.
Wait for it.
The market, the life, everything you can think of. Us 3 gentlemen are buddies, and we will share every knowledge that we can with each other, and that's what we will continue to do until we are old and gray, and some of us are almost there. Definitely gray. But man, I do appreciate you joining us, Brian. It has been fun. I'm very much looking forward to 2024 for your show, for our show. And just looking forward to 2024. It's going to be a good year for hopefully everyone. And from the Empty Slate, and I'm pretty sure Brian will say this from YFB, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year. Chris, if you want to close it out, go for it, buddy.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate every eye and every ear that you have lent us this year, and we cannot wait to see you next. Till next year, we'll see you down the road.